One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On the ground, Kamara, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. On the ground, this is Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, it's Kamara. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. 3 yards on the pickup there, but they've only got it back to 3rd and 10.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Here's Winston. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Here comes the Saints punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range, not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Time to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. Overtime in a playoff game, awesome setup. Remember, the rules the same as they would be in the regular season.
That's exactly right, Brandon. Remember, the receiving team, if they score a touchdown, game is over. But if they kick a field goal or don't score, the other team gets a chance to get the football. They get a possession. If they go down and score, they win the football game at that point. If both teams kick field goals, we keep playing. If a defense scores, let's say the receiving team gets the ball, doesn't score, or they throw a pick six or fumble, gets picked up, the defense scores, game over. But here's the best part. In the regular season, only 1 period is played. We could call it a tie. Here, we're going to play until we have a winner.
The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. They run once more with Edwards. And he'll be stopped after a very short gain, and now you're looking at 4th down. And the timeout coming in here with just 7 seconds remaining in the extra session. So a big move here, playing to win in overtime. They're going to go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it. It's Edwards. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. And we're going to get whistles in a timeout with 3 seconds left in the extra session. They'll run on first down. Dobbins, and he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Dobbins. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now a handoff, Edwards. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
How about 2? We need another. We're still even. We'll switch sides and have that 2nd overtime in just a moment. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And with just 9 seconds left in overtime, we get whistles and a timeout. A big call here in overtime. They're going for it on 4th down. They'll try and run for it. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. And with just 2 seconds remaining, the timeout is called here in OT. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a handoff for Dobbins. So the OT clock hits 0, and we're still not done. We'll switch sides and need at least one more OT to decide it after this. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. On the handoff, Edwards. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Again, it's Edwards. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Here's a give to Dobbins. It's a gain of 3, and it'll be 2nd down. One overtime. How about 2? We